Hola, hola, ¿cómo están? A todos. Estoy aquí con mi compañero en el apartamento. Fuimos a la tienda para hacer compras y estamos aquí esperando para email. Yeah. So, this week was super good. Again, it went by pretty quick. Let's see, trying to think of what happened. Yeah. Let's see. So Tuesday, we had a bomb lesson with Jeff and Amanda Harman. We took Sister White with us, and she's like awesome. She was like the perfect fit for them, especially for Amanda. Like they clicked super well, and Amanda like opened up quite a bit. Pretty funny. She was like, we're talking about a ward, we're gonna have a ward activity on the 25th. We're gonna do like a family home evening thing, and she was like inviting them to it, and then they're like, yeah, we're like, yeah, there's gonna be like a bunch of food. It's gonna be super good food. And then Sister White was like, yeah, Mormons are really good at making really good food. And then she's like, oh, I wouldn't make a good one then, or something like that. But it was just kind of funny, because obviously she's thinking about it. But yeah, they're doing well. We were gonna have a church tour with them on Saturday, but their son Quinn was with his biological dad this weekend, and like it was kind of an unexpected visit from him, and so they want the son to be there. He's mainly the reason why they're going to come to the church tour, and they want their son to be there when they do it. So they rescheduled, but we have a lesson with them tomorrow, so that'll be good. Let's see what else happened. Wednesday was transfers. So we went down and we picked up Elder Shoemaker down in Brewster. He was coming up from Chelan, so we just met him halfway. Picked him up with all his luggage and stuff. Brought him back up here. Huh? Okay. Just brought him back up here. And then, yeah. So, that was cool. He's an interesting fella, but he's a cool guy. He's a good missionary. I love him. He's hilarious. But, yeah. So, yep, that's really it. Then, Tuesday we had a lesson with Shannon as well. That went okay. That went pretty well. We put her on date. She's on date for April 22nd. But it's kind of like a soft date because she kind of has a little problem that she thinks she's going to have. And we're going to resolve this problem, but we just haven't been able to have a lesson with her yet. So she is going to be going on to a convention in Seattle 2 days before her baptism. And she is riding with a woman who smokes as well, and so she's really like nervous about going because she doesn't want to like quit smoking before that and then go on the trip and like smoke, and then she won't be able to be baptized. So she's like wanting to push the date back because she has to not smoke for 2 weeks at least before the baptism. But we're going to try and help her understand that she can't plan to sin like that. And yeah, that she just needs to be strong, and maybe she should just ride with someone else. So we're going to talk to her about it. But she's doing good. She almost didn't come to church on Sunday. She called us like 30 minutes before and was like, hey, I have really bad allergies. I'm not feeling too good. I'm not going to come. And we were like, no, come. Convinced her to come. She came for sacrament meeting. She wasn't feeling too good, but She came for sacrament meeting, and it was super good. We had ward conference on Sunday, and Bishop asked the Reyes to share like their testimonies in the ward conference. So that was super cool that she was able to hear their testimonies. Monica shared her whole story about how she told God she was done with him and that she was mad at him. And then literally the next day, the missionaries from the True Church knocked on her door. So it was pretty cool for Shannon to hear that story. Let's see what else happened. Okay, Thursday we had another lesson with Shannon. We did some tracting and stuff, I think. And then we drove down to Wenatchee Thursday night to stay the night with the zone leaders down there. And then we rode down with the zone leaders Friday morning to Quincy for the zone conference. And yeah, because if we hadn't, we would have had to get up at like 4:30 to make it all the way down to Quincy from here by 9 o'clock. So we didn't really want to wake up at 4:30. And so we drove down Thursday night. We left at like 8 o'clock. Drove down, stayed the night down there, and then got up the next day and went. So then we had zone conference with LDU SEDA, and that was from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and that was super good. Holy crap. He talked about so much stuff. We had a 30-minute portion where we just did a scripture study with him. He just showed us how we should study our scriptures. And it was super cool. We studied D&C 4, section 4. We didn't even get through verse 1. In the whole 30 minutes, we didn't even finish verse 1. It was crazy. But it was super cool. I learned a ton. And then we did kind of like the same thing. Well, he kind of talked about it in a way, about the same thing with Moroni 10, 3 through 5, which is like the promise from Moroni about if we read the Book of Mormon and pray about it, we'll get an answer, basically. That sums it up, like, generally, but it's a lot more specific and more powerful than that. I have learned these last couple of days, after studying it the way that he taught us how to study scriptures, we literally stopped at, like, every single word, and we talked about what that word meant to us now, and then what it meant to Joseph Smith in his time when he was translating the Book of Mormon, what the significance of the word was. And then he'd give us like the Greek word for it and the Greek meaning in that context and stuff. And then we'd like look at cross references and stuff like that for like each individual word. It was insane, but it was super cool. Like, opened my mind up to a whole new world of studying scriptures. So that was awesome. I've been like wanting to know like how I can better study, because I feel like I like understand what's going on all the time, and I can just like read, and like I think about it and stuff, but I was getting to the point where I wanted a way to like, I don't know, make my studies better when I read in the scriptures, and I think that'll help a lot. It already has. Like, I learned a ton these last couple days. Like I said, I was studying Moroni 10, 3 through 5, and actually Elder and Alsop and I did it both, but we did it during our personal studies, and it literally, like, we took the whole entire hour, and we, like, didn't even read all 3 verses. So we're just, like, breaking it down, like, super deep, and then, like, we want to figure out a way. We actually kind of already did, but he helped us figure out a way, like, how to teach that, like, more effectively and help people understand, like, the real significance of it, and not just kind of read it with them and be like, yeah, this is a promise, so if you do it, you'll get an answer. But, like, make it more meaningful to them by breaking down the scriptures. So yeah, that was super sweet. I'm excited about that. We, like, made this lesson plan for our investigator Eli, because that's like really what he needs right now. And we made this like super good lesson plan. Like we planned it all out, how we wanted to go and stuff, what we wanted to talk about, what we wanted to point out in the scripture. And then they didn't answer the door. They weren't home, which seems to always happen whenever you like plan out a super good lesson plan. But I think it was good because we learned a ton. But yeah, so that meeting was really, really good. And then we had lunch and then like an hour break. And then we had MLC with just the zone leaders and the STLs in the mission. And he just talked with us. Everyone else went home. That's why we had to. We were gonna ride with the elders that we live with down to Quincy, but we couldn't because they weren't gonna be staying all day long. They were gonna leave right after lunch, so we couldn't ride with them because they couldn't just sit at the church. It'd be a waste of time. So yeah, so we were there from 9 in the morning until about 7, which was super cool. Elder Ucedo is awesome. Holy cow, I learned so much from him. He like has changed my mission. But like seriously, this weekend blew my mind. In the MLC, he gave us, so there's these videos. They're called The District. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they're Preach My Gospel videos that they made to show examples of how to teach the principles in Preach My Gospel, and basically like how to do it the right way. So he talked to us about that, and he showed us some statistics of our mission, like how many of us, like what percentage of us are reading in the Book of Mormon every day, because like we did a survey thing before he came, and like how many of us are watching The District every day and all this stuff. Anyway, The District shows us like really, really good ways of how to teach and how to help our investigators really like understand it. And he made a promise to us, which was super cool. He promised us that if we watch a clip at least a little bit, like every single day of the rest of our missions, and we like don't just watch it, but we watch it and then we pause it, we study it out, see what we can do to apply to our investigators and things like that. If we do that every single day, we will become the most effective missionaries possible. We'll be way better teachers. And not only that, but he promised us that if we start now, that the investigators that we have right now who are not progressing will start to progress, and that we'll see more baptisms in the mission. So, yeah, Elder Alsop and I jumped on that. We've done it the last couple of days, and it's actually been super good. We've been able to learn a lot. We're really excited for it. So, yeah, he promised us a lot of other things, but I'll have to talk about it like in my email or something. This is getting pretty long. Just one other side note. His wife was super cool too. She doesn't speak English, so she spoke to us in Spanish, and someone translated for her. But she told us, she like said this. She was talking about obedience and stuff, which our mission's super obedient, which they like pointed out to us, but they were like, there's always things you can do better, like obviously. But honestly, like our mission's way more obedient than a lot of missions that we hear about, so it's super cool. But she said this, and it was super cool, I thought. She said, remember, there are no disobedient gods in the universe. It was super cool. I wrote it down. Probably going to put it up somewhere on the wall. But yeah, our week was really, really good. We got some good things going on this week. Some district councils. We got a lot of time to tract and stuff, so that'll be good. But yeah, that's really it. I'm going to end this so that I can actually send it, or else if it's too long, it might not let me send it. So I love you all. Hope you're all doing well. Enjoying I don't know if the weather's getting better down there, but it's getting better up here. We're liking it. So I love you guys, and have a super bomb week. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.